Okay, for the plyometric part of this session, we're going to do some hurdle jumps. If you don't have any hurdles for this, you can just do tuck jumps. There's forward tuck jumps, but because these aren't proper hurdles, it's just like boxes and a bench and one hurdle. But so we're going to drop from the box, jump over the hurdles repeatedly, then jump over the last hurdle. Sometimes we're gradually going to increase the height of that last hurdle until it's like almost a max jump, and then we're going to do 10 minutes of this just to get nice and springy, nice and bouncy. We've already done our light intense plyometrics. It was in video weight because it's just like hops, not hops, it was like pogos, double leg, forward, backwards, sideways, and all that kind of stuff, just to get the ankles warm, get me ready to go for this kind of plyos, because this is nice, high intense kind of plyometrics. Nice to just trying to get more bouncy, trying to get more springy. Things will definitely help with sprint speed, making you more elasticy kind of athlete, and that's why I like doing hurdle hop jumps. We're going to try and keep them in the program for a longer time. But as I said, if you don't have hurdle jumps, you can just do tuck jumps, forward tuck jumps, and as long as you're doing good intent with it, it's still a good exercise and you're still going to get what you want out of it. So that's what's more important. More important is the intent. So if you're just doing forward tuck jumps, as long as you do them with good intent, as I said, it's going to have the same benefits as these hurdle jumps. But I just like to have the hurdle jumps, something there to drive that intent and make me have to jump over them. Yeah, we'll just get right into it. So we'll show you how we do it, just trying to be nice and quick off the floor. Always feels slow as shit for the first rep, but we're just going to gradually increase it. So we've only done one set of those pogo jumps as a warm-up, so this is kind of like extended warm-up. Just going to gradually increase the height of the last hurdle every set. We're only going to rest like 30 seconds, probably just walk back and then do it again. Don't need that much rest in between this yet. But once it's like more of a max hurdle jump at the end, then we'll take a longer rest. But we're only doing this for 10 minutes, we don't have much time, so we want to get in as many quality reps as we can in that 10 minutes. Then we're going to go into a double leg jump session. The whole goal of these is just to be springy as hell, and I love doing these. I always feel really springy after doing them. You feel really fast, you feel a little bit more explosive after doing these, so that's why I like doing them, especially before an actual jump session, because once we've done these, we're proper warmed up for the jump session, we just go into doing like proper good height jumps, rather than having to like build our way up to it. We can just go right into high jumps, which is what I want to do. So it means I get more reps at that decent height, rather than having to do build up reps for the jump session. Just go straight into it. It's also like a lot of fun too, like it's enjoyable jumping over these. I don't even know why, it just feels good and feels nice for fun as well, something different in the gym. Obviously it's difficult in most gyms to do this because you don't have much room, or you don't even have hurdles, but to be fair, I'm not using hurdles, but yeah, some of these don't have much room and all that, so it's a bit difficult. But if you can, just find a little bit of space, set up this. It's fair, you don't need that much room. This is only like 5 meters maybe in distance, it's not that long, it's not that much room to be honest, but yeah, still fun to do, feeling really springy. We're going to do a few more reps. You also need good like rhythm and timing with these, because if you fuck up the timing, you end up jumping a little bit too far back over one hurdle. It means it fucks up your jump for the next jump, and for the next jump it means that the last jump is going to suck. So you kind of need to have good timing, good rhythm with these, which is also another added benefit to this exercise. It's not just about getting good outputs, it's not just about getting good ground contacts. You also need good rhythm and timing, which is so important in life and in sport, to be honest. Being a nice rhythmic athlete is something that you need to be. Like, all the best athletes are very, like, everything just looks easy to them, and that's because they got good rhythm, they got good timing, and just know how to do things properly. And that's why I like this exercise too. It's just an added benefit. Not saying you're going to become a pro athlete if you can do this well, but it's just another added benefit to it that's going to improve your rhythm and timing also, as well as like every single jump is like a good ground contact. Every single jump is like high intense, which is exactly what we want out of an exercise. So we're going to do a few more. Still got 5 minutes to go. Might not make that last jump a max intense jump today, because we're also going to do a double leg jump session, but it's quite good having it a little bit higher than the other ones, because it gives you something to drive towards, gives you something to go towards. And I want to make sure it's, for the last jump, I don't want to have it too high where I'm having to take too much time on the ground and jump over it. I want to still make the last jump springy, make it nice and quick off the floor. So the higher the hurdle will be for the last one, the longer time I'm going to spend on the ground, and I don't want to do that. I want to be nice and quick. So with that height right now, it feels quite good. So I might just continue with that, maybe do a little bit higher, but not going to go too high. We used to go, well, we have before gone quite high with this, but we don't want to go too high. We want to be nice and springy, focus the height on the jump session. That's the main aim for this exercise, is just to be nice and springy, quick off the floor. Honestly, I could just do this for the whole hour session. It's so fun, enjoyable, especially when now it's getting a little bit higher to the back. It makes it a bit more intent driven, but I don't even know why. It's just such an enjoyable exercise doing this, jumping over hurdles. It's just really fun, so that's why I like doing it also. I think that's an important part of training too. I think a lot of people don't enjoy their training and they end up training gets bored and they end up taking time away from it. And I think that's what I've done a lot before when I used to do like less athletic kind of stuff and more boring kind of training. You know, just the standard bodybuilding kind of stuff that was really boring. It ended up my training being I ended up like getting bored and not training as much, not being as consistent because I didn't want to go to the gym because I was bored and wasn't enjoying it. But a lot of people say, oh, you need motivation, or you know, you just need discipline to go to the gym. But sometimes you need to make your training different, make it fun, and that'll make you go to the gym. It's not all about discipline and all that all the time, because sometimes you can be disciplined but you come into the gym and it's just crap sessions, it's boring, it doesn't get you going, you're not actually doing anything. So if you make the training fun, you're going to drive more intent into the session, which means you're going to get way more out of the session. So that's why doing this kind of stuff, athletic kind of stuff, is good for general population people and for people who do sports, because you're still getting a good stimulus, you're still improving your body, but you're also having fun with it. And I think that's one of the most important things if you come into the gym, is having fun, because you want to be in the gym for the rest of your life. So enjoying training is such an important factor in your training life, in your gym life, because if you don't enjoy it, as I said, you're going to fall off the wagon, you're going to get bored, you're not going to train as hard, so you're not going to get out of it what you want. But if you're enjoying training and you're making progress, that is the sweet spot, that is what you want. Because that is when you're going to make the most progress, and that's when you're going to enjoy the most training, and that's when you're going to be the most consistent with your training, which is the most important thing, is being consistent. It's not just about discipline, it's also about having fun in training and enjoying it. There's a little bit of discipline involved, obviously, but it's kind of hard if you're not enjoying your training. It does make it boring, and if you're not seeing progress as well, and if you're not enjoying your training, sometimes you don't make progress. Hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it a bit better, but if you're not enjoying your training, you're not going to make progress, because you're not putting the most intent into the training session as you would if you were enjoying it. So that's why I think it's important to enjoy sessions. That's why I like doing this, because I'm getting good outputs into it, I'm driving good intent into it, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, we'll get a couple more and that'll be us. Okay, we're on to our jump session now. I'm just going to do a few jumps this height, 2 jumps, then go almost to max height. Really enjoyed those springy jumps, but now, you know, jumping high has been one of my goals for years now. But I did make a good little bit of progress in the off season for football. I made some really good progress in the jumps. But since the season started, it's been difficult to be super consistent with it. So I'm trying to get 2 sessions of jump sessions in a week. For even just 10 minutes each time, 10 to 15 minutes each time, as well as plyometrics, because I think that's what's going to really push my jump height. It's going to be doing jumps regularly. If you want to jump high, you need to jump high often. So I want to do it twice a week. Well, that's the most I can do, it is twice a week, considering we've got training and games. So, but yeah, we made some good progress off season. We kind of lost that a little bit because we haven't been as consistent. So aiming to be more consistent. I'm going to aim for a good few reps at this height, and then once I feel like I'm clearing this comfortably, we'll go a little bit higher and go for a max height jump. This is almost my max height, but not quite. So once we get comfortable with this, then we'll go a little bit higher. It's just annoying having to constantly have to like put the hurdle back on, so I don't want to keep failing. So I want to like do a good few jumps to this height, and then go for a max height, and then maybe do 3 or 4 at that height. And if I don't make it, then I'll stop. But if I do make it, I'll keep going. Okay, now we're going to go for some max height jumps. These are basically my PRs for recently anyway. We have jumped a little bit higher than this before, but we're not getting in there now. So this is like our PRs at the moment. So hopefully we can get a couple at this. I'd be happy to get 1, and then I'd probably just finish, if I'm being honest, if I make it, or maybe go a little bit higher, because we're going to give ourselves maybe 5 attempts at this. If I don't make it, no, we're going to give ourselves like 3 or 4 attempts. If I don't make it in that time, then we'll go one little bit lower, finish on a high, as I always do, and then, yeah, we'll move on to the strength exercises. So close, just skiffed it with my heel, really annoying, but we're getting there, almost there. I always seem to get like the first jump, the max height, just super close. Then other ones after that normally suck. So we're just going to do one more. Obviously, I think it's because every jump is like a max effort. We've already done the springy jumps. We're probably legs are a little bit tired now, so maybe we should do the max jumps a little bit earlier. But I want to get good quality ones in at lesser height, just so I'm getting good quality jumps in, and just giving me good confidence to get this. But we're so close with the first one. Second one's kind of shit. So we're just going to do one more at this height. Then we'll go a little bit lower, finish on a high, then go on to our strength work. As I said, every jump is max intense, so my legs are probably going to get tired, you know, because you wouldn't do this with let's say a squat. You wouldn't do like that many 1 rep max efforts because you'd be fatigued. And it's probably the same with the jumps. Like every jump is like a max effort, so it is quite difficult to do that, to do tons and tons of reps in one session, because you know your legs are going to get tired because you're doing the max effort, and you want every jump to be max effort. So you kind of need to be rested. You want your legs to be nice and powerful for every jump. So it's kind of difficult to do tons and tons of jumps, but yeah, we're going to do one more at this height. Okay, on our strength work now. Been really enjoying these anytime I've done them. Single leg, rear foot elevated, trapbar deadlift. Bit of a weird variation, but I kind of love them. I think you get a way more hinge when you do the normal trapbar deadlift, and what I have been anyway. So yeah, we managed to get quite heavy with these, but we're just on 65 at the moment. I'm going to try, I think we managed to get 105, maybe for 1 or 2 reps each leg, but we're going to go for 5 reps here in this session. So we're going to do 1 set of this, and then we're going to go 2, I don't know, we'll see how comfortable this feels for 5 reps. Go a little bit heavier, 2 sets of that weight, and then we're going to go on to other stuff. But yeah, really like these for a hinge movement. Felt way more comfortable on the left foot than the right, but that weight felt easy, so I'm going to go a little bit heavier. Really enjoy doing this exercise, and as I said before, it's important to enjoy the exercise that you're doing in the gym, because you're going to be more consistent with it. Because if you're just doing the exercises that you do all the time, you get a little bit bored of it. As I said, your motivation is going to go, and you're not going to be consistent in the gym. So sometimes changing up and doing, like this is kind of like a different exercise. Don't really see many people doing it. I wanted to try it. I tried it, really enjoyed doing it. I like it, I want to make good progress on it, so I'm going to keep doing it. Rather than just doing like normal trap bar deadlift, which I still do every now and again, it's just a nice different variation from it. The way I like to program my lower days is I like to do 1 deadlift session, 1 squat session, and 1 single leg and 1 double leg. So either the deadlift or the squat will be a double leg or a single leg. So this week, Monday, was the back squat, so that was obviously the double leg variation of the squat, and then today we're doing the single leg variation of a trap bar rear foot elevated deadlift. I think it's good to have, you know, 1 deadlift day, 1 squat day. It doesn't matter what the exercise actually is that you do. What's important is the stimulus. So that's why I also like to do 1 single leg and 1 double leg, so you're getting the best of both worlds, because single leg training is important, so is double leg training. It doesn't really matter what exercise you do. As I said, it's more about the stimulus. So we're getting a good strength stimulus, we're getting a good deadlift stimulus doing this one. Probably get the same if you did trap bar deadlift. Obviously, you probably get a little bit more weight, but the most important thing is getting that deadlift stimulus, kind of good overall stimulus. Because obviously, 5 rep max at this probably is this weight. And if you did that with a trap bar deadlift, you obviously get more weight, but you're still getting a 5 rep max weight. You're still putting that much weight on the body, which is important. And that's why it doesn't really matter what exercise you do. It's mostly about the stimulus, and yeah, it's just mostly about what stimulus you're putting on the body and what stimulus you want to put on the body. So I want to do a deadlift variation today, whether it's double leg single, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what kind of variation I do. I just want to be picking something off heavy off the floor for 5 reps, whether that's double leg or single leg, it doesn't really matter. So you got to worry about what stimulus you're trying to do, and you fill that in with the exercise. Hope that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but I'll try to explain it a little bit better. We're going to do 5 reps of this. Right leg's always a little bit worse than the left for some reason, but we'll see. Hip flexor work now. It's probably my favorite hip flexor exercise because you're getting through a full range of motion. With a lot of exercises, you don't get it at that lengthened state like here. I mean, a lot of exercises you're getting it like medium or you're getting it at the high end. You're not getting it at a full range of motion and managing to take it all the way through. And that's why I like this cable exercise. We're just going to do 2 sets, 10 reps each leg. And that's all you need for it. I mean, the hip flexors are so important in like sprinting, jumping, everything, to be honest. So it is important to train them. But you also do train them when you're doing like squats and all that a little bit, but sometimes it's good to do a little bit of isolation work with them too, to keep them strong, keep them healthy, and to improve them, get them stronger. It's just like this. It's nice to hold on to something because I always feel like I'm going to fall if I do this. I also don't want to bang the cable. I want to try and keep it in good tension the whole way through. So I don't want to put the cable all the way back. I'm going to try and keep it off, touching the back, and go all the way through. Listen up that knee. Oh, I always burn. Absolute burn hip flexors. Especially, you can kind of get quite a bit heavy on this. Obviously start light and build up the capacity to do heavy. But yeah, you can eventually get quite heavy with this. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to get into the position, but that's fine. Oh. I should love this exercise for loosening up the hips, strengthening the groins. It's a great exercise, it's just a lateral squat. Because a lot of people also don't do much in that position, don't do a lot of lateral work. I think it's quite important to do rather than just being like up and down all the time or forward and back. It's also really important to do lateral stuff, especially if you play a sport. A lot of sport is about being lateral, and even for people who don't play a sport, like it's important to do lateral stuff for like your hips, obliques, your back, your side, like everything. Like doesn't matter if you play a sport or not, it's still important to do lateral kind of stuff. And this is one of my favorite exercises to improve hip mobility and get some lateral training in as well. But as I said, for sport especially, because a lot of the time you're shuffling sideways, you need good hip mobility to be able to like get out of positions, deep positions. I think this exercise is just great for that. And it's like a strength exercise too, so it's not just about mobility. You get a little bit of strength and mobility work too. My groins been really tight recently, so that's why I'm also doing this exercise, just to work on that, get a little bit stronger and make it feel a bit better. Yeah, we always like to desert your version because you can always go a little bit heavier, although we're not really going for weight today. But yeah, we've also got these. Holy shit, that's quite wide. Yeah, I mean, put these in. We've also got the plates just to make it so I can get a little bit deeper into the position. Oh, it's tough today. But it's good, I think, with the plates there on my heels, I managed to get nice and low, which is exactly what I want. I want to get lower, because that'll strengthen the hips more, and also get a little bit more activation in the groins. Okay, cool, that's us for today. So that was a great little lower body session. Really enjoyed the hurdle jumps, enjoyed the jump session. Although we are getting a little bit better, I feel like we are putting the jump a little bit higher. And I feel like with the hurdle jumps, we are getting springier, which is good. But again, you just got to be super consistent with it to improve in jump height and become more athletic. It just takes time. And you know what? You don't get that much big margins anymore. You need to just get these little margins. Like I'm not going to improve my vertical jump by like 10 inches in like 2 months. I'm probably going to do like a few inches every like 6 months or something. which is fine. Just little improvements is what it's all about. Then single leg trap bar deadlift, still loving that exercise. Got to a decent weight, probably could have went a little bit heavier, but happy with that for today. And then hip flexor work, hips feel good, nice and juicy. And also with this, side lateral squats feel great as well. So overall, good session. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.